Good evening. This evening, I want to talk to you about the alchemy of growth for your startup business. And more specifically, I wanted to discuss what factors accounted for the success or failure of your business. You see, I've been very privileged in my professional career as I've had the opportunity to provide strategic analysis and advisory services to a number of companies and multinationals. I've worked across such varied industries as financial services, banks and insurance companies, media and entertainment firms, real estate firms, and not-for-profits. One common theme across all of these industries is the desire to drive optimal results. And more specifically, that means simply increasing profits and decreasing costs. I've also had the opportunity to work with a number of sovereign governments, both in the U.S. and abroad. And while they are not driven by a profit motive, they clearly are driven by a desire to provide their services more effectively and efficiently. And underneath that is obviously a budgetary component. And so when we examine the factors that can lead to the success or failure, I know for many entrepreneurs, they're often encouraged to quickly develop a business plan. And as you and I know, one can easily Google business plans and download any variety of templates. But I challenge the entrepreneur to take a step back before they go down that path. And I would submit that there are three key important areas to consider before moving forward on the business plan. Depending on the stage of development of your effort, a business plan may or may not yet be necessary for you. When you think of a business plan, however, obviously the great big idea is the starting point. What is the business concept? I think for all entrepreneurs, we need to take a step back and really examine what our strengths are. Get clear on our mission and vision, and understand how we can translate our strengths into something that can be in contribution to others. And that contribution might be in the way of family, it might be in the way of community, it might be in the way of society writ large. But having clarity on how we can positively impact the life of others is critical. When we think of a business concept from a strategic perspective, we'll often think about the competitive landscape. Once we've gotten clear on what products and services we provide, who are the competitors who are offering similar goods or services? How are they bringing those products or goods to market? What is their pricing model? To do an in-depth competitive analysis is quite frankly required. When you look at your customer base, you may choose to do a deeper segmentation of your customers to understand, are you targeting a particular demographic? Are you looking to have a particular niche in the market? And these are just a sample of some of the considerations when we think of the big picture. What is that big idea, that business concept? But the second area to consider is the team and your execution plan. Who are the principals that are bringing your products or services to market? Do you have the requisite expertise? Obviously, today there is a lot of focus on technology startups, and so individuals with developer skills and user experience skills, for example, are often in the forefront of some of the tech startups. But there are a number of individuals who are looking to create businesses that are not at all related to technology. For example, we have parts of our community that are very focused and very interested in natural ingredients for hair care, for skin care, for organic consumption of food and items. And so we see individuals who might be pursuing options, whether it's juicing, whether it's natural hair and skincare products, just for example. And that leads me to the third area, which I think is really one of the most important areas to consider, and that's the timing of your great idea. It is imperative that you do an honest assessment to determine whether or not customers are ready for the products or services that you're bringing to market. Bill Gross, who is the founder of Idea Lab, has brought such venerable companies to market such as Airbnb, YouTube, Uber, LinkedIn, just to name a few. And I think by all means we could say those companies have been very successful. But Bill Gross will often talk about the plethora of companies that he attempted to incubate and they ended up being big failures. One that he often references is Z.com, whose business concept was to bring online streaming into the homes of consumers. Now, this goes back a few years, and at that time, broadband connection was much less developed than it is today, and the opportunity failed. Now, of course, you can contrast to this today, where we see such firms like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, who've carved out significant marketplace, but Z.com some years ago could not do that. And so that's just one example where the timing is critical. Airbnb's success in part was fueled by the fact that we happened to have been in the midst of a recession, and homeowners were looking for a way to augment their income as they saw their savings depleted and in some instances found themselves with less complementary employment options. But at the end of the day, when you think about the business plan and you think about the factors for success, obviously the big idea, the big business concept is important. Your team, your execution plan is important. But the research seems to suggest at this time that the timing of your idea may be the most important factor. I wanted to share this information with you, and I hope that you're armed with a little bit of knowledge and insight so that you can be successful in your endeavors and that you can follow your bliss. Good luck to you.